What's up? So I just want to go over my morning routine with you. So first things first, I wake up, I take famotidine, 20 milligrams. Already did that. Famotidine, I used to take a PPI, pantoprazole, for like 25 years for acid reflux. Not the best, especially not for that long. So I switched over to an H2, which this is famotidine. Helps with acid reflux, but secondary benefit, also helps with histamines and having mast cell activation syndrome, MCAS. I take this for that as well as a secondary benefit. So after that, in the mornings, I take Seed. Seed is a synbiotic, so it's a prebiotic, probiotic mix. Been taking it for a long time. I've taken a lot of other prebiotic, probiotic things. I do take a couple others still, but I feel like it has noticeable difference, as far as I can tell. So I remain taking that as part of my regimen. I also take this liposomal NADH plus, and this has CoQ10, D-ribose, B12, phospholipid complex in it. But this is key for cellular health and energy. So everything I do, this is like ATP, mitochondria focused. Everything I do is either trying to clear out dead cells, cell regeneration, focus on cell health. It's a big focus, as having long COVID is cellular. So trying to get my body in the best shape possible, and that's one of the ways that I do that. Next, I'm going to be taking this creatine. It also has L-glutamine in it. There's been some studies showing that L-glutamine's been helpful with COVID reduction. So, and creatine for brain health. So, outside of cellular, neurological, obviously, COVID first came out, people thought it was respiratory. Now it's well known that it's vascular, it's neurological. So I take the creatine and the L-glutamine for that. I'm going gluten-free now to help with inflammation and reduction of inflammation, especially in the gut. So I found this cool new company called Thistle. This is a tropical Vifala chia pudding cup. Had a bite or two so far. It's delicious. So this is my first of, I guess, 3 meals I got this morning, or 3 meals I got for the mornings. Next, shot of this Buoy hydration drops. So this has trace elements in it as well, electrolytes. I have POTS, so postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. It's under the umbrella of dysautonomia, which is essentially my brain telling my body to do things it shouldn't. So my heart rate can spike up to like 200 plus just standing here, maybe doing dishes. I can have breathing episodes. I can have random pains, small nerve fiber neuropathy, my nerves feeling things like almost phantom pain. So like feeling like I'm getting stabbed with an ice pick, which is a frequent pain of mine in my groin. Super, super awesome feeling to have daily. So anyway, have the hydration drops there. I'll have some of that. I might have electrolyte fast chews instead, the salt stick fast chews. So sometimes I alternate that. But then I'm gonna eat. I have metformin. So this is a diabetic drug that I'm using off-label to help reduce viral load. Also helps with blood sugar, which mine's been rising. There's a lot of research pointing to COVID. It essentially is triggering type 2 diabetes in adults and kids. So among the vast multitude of gifts that COVID has bestowed upon us, diabetes is now one of those. So I don't take the metformin for that necessarily. It's one of these dual benefits. I'm taking it to help stave off potential infections or reinfections, and reduce the viral load overall, as well as the intended use, which is for diabetes and glucose reduction. What else do I have here? I have Fatty 15, which my protocol has involved in the past. Fish oil, krill oil. Fatty 15 is a helpful fatty acid supplement I found online, so I'm trying that out now. And then last but not least, for my morning routine, I'll drop a 4.5 and a 1.5 for a 6 milligram total of low dose naltrexone, which is typically used for opioid addictions, getting people off things like Oxycontin, heroin. But in my case, it helps with the chronic pain. So just moved from 4.5 milligrams up to 6 last week because my pains were getting worse. I've been on it for a while. None of these things are cures. These are all Band-Aids to essentially allow me to not be bedridden, which is pretty shitty if I'm being blunt. But I know that I'd be in a lot worse condition if I weren't doing this. So it doesn't necessarily help me feel good, but I guess better in that if I weren't doing it, I know I'd feel a whole hell of a lot worse. So those are some of the things I do every morning. I take some other pills, obviously, you can see here, so I'll update you on those at a later date because there's a lot that goes into my regimen. But that's what my morning looks like, and it generally, from the time that I do my stretching, it's about 20 minutes, eat, take all my pills, cycle through. I just got glucometer, so I just stuck myself this morning for the first time, starting to take my blood and glucose measurements because my glucose has been rising despite taking metformin on fasting blood draws for previous few blood draws. So I'm keeping a better eye on that. But yeah, it's pretty intensive. So like my full-time job now is not dying. So Brian Johnson, shout out to you. Don't die. I'm the poor man's Brian Johnson, and I'm taking a lot of notes from him and others in the space, scientists, researchers, and shout out to all the people in long COVID community because honestly, if you have long COVID, an invaluable resource, more valuable than any clinic I've been a part of, than any doctor I've spoken to individually. So 2 years plus into this journey, everything I'm doing here, with all these, all up in there in my business, that's all a result of tons and tons and tons of research, lots of peer-reviewed, externally reviewed studies and papers, and just trying to seek out the smartest people out there, and then do my research after that, just to ensure that a lot of these things I'm like a lab rat. There's a lot of things I'm doing haven't been done before, and I don't want to die. I don't like feeling the way I do every day. So these are the things that I'm doing to hopefully help, and not all of them have worked. I've had some beta blockers that have been horrible, and actually brings me to my next good point. So later today I'm taking a 12.5 milligram new beta blocker called atenolol. We'll see what that does. But yeah, just wanted to share that with you because I feel like a lot of people talk about long COVID out there, but they don't necessarily get into the weeds of what it's like, the daily battle of having long COVID and the work that it entails, and the pain, the exhaustion, and the fear, because this isn't fun, but this is what needs to be done. So just wanted to share that with you. Hope you're all having a great day. If you got any questions, hit me up. All right, take care. Thanks.